It.
Recording. Okay, we're
Okay.
recording.
There you go.
Okay, so.
All right, have a good one.
Thanks, Paula.
Night.
Thanks, Paula.
Hi, Paula.
So we have 3 applications tonight. The first one is 2014, 23 East Afton Avenue, the sign. Who's that?
That's us.
Okay. So tell us about it. It's nice to have that space occupied. I remember going there for videos, so.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, we're excited about it. Yep. Good.
Yeah, so.
Well, it's the entrance is off Canal Street, across from the Canal Street Grill. It's sort of a side door that leads to a lower level. And we were going to put up a sign to the right side of that door above the mailbox on the wall as an 18-inch by 40-inch sign. Basically, it's white with black lettering, and it will say Yardley Dog Grooming. And it has a cutout of a poodle in the center of it.
So the poodle's gonna stay?
The poodle's going to stay? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it in that. It's probably not very good. You probably can't see it in that.
Okay.
Oh, no,
Yeah, that's
that's
good.
good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So that's the existing sign that you're using, the 18 or whatever it is by 40 is the existing, right?
Yeah, this basically, it's going to be re-lettered. This one is Le Beau Chien Dog Grooming. It's going to be changed to Yardley Dog Grooming.
Right.
So now on the wall.
But you're using the same sign. You're just whiting out the one part and putting in Yardley.
Yeah, exactly.
I have Ruth Bannon, who does all the Yardley signs, doing that one. She said she does everything pretty much in Yardley.
That she does. That she does.
You know, Ruth,
Yeah, that's what hard work.
she
Wonderful person.
does great work. I mean, she's done 3 signs for me, and she's a perfectionist. She's awesome.
Where's your business now?
We were originally in Yardley where the cellar was for years.
Oh, right. Okay.
That was us. And then we moved to Langhorne over in Oxford Court, right next to Sesame Place. We've been there for 4 years. Been trying to come back to Yardley pretty much ever since we left. I am Kim's biggest nuisance. Every year I'm like, you have a space, you have a space, you have a space. And this time it's like, we have a space. That
Well, thanks for coming back. We welcome your business. Absolutely.
we miss the small, we just miss that small business feeling. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people walking their dogs in Yardley, so that the business should be good. Yes.
Yeah, it always was. We never had a problem getting clients, and we were always the only ones there, so we wouldn't be the only ones there again.
Yeah, and I think your sign is charming, and I think that it'll add a charm to that little corner there. That's nice. Very nice. Nicely done.
That's what we were thinking. Thanks.
Yeah.
Are there any other, I have 2 comments, not on the sign, but on the location. And it's just a suggestion. I think I would get it up as high to the fascia as possible, maybe 4 inches below the, you know, what the fascia is, the roof line that hangs down.
Right. Yeah, I actually have a photo of that too. I don't know if you can see it.
Right, yeah. So you're showing where you have the brackets, you're showing that U-shaped kind of thing over the door. And that's the top of that is the fascia. And I think you just should have it like 1 inch or 1.5 pieces of siding down a little bit. It'll just give you a little more exposure, I think.
Uh-huh.
Right now you're seeing like you're sort of hidden behind the electrical box, and I don't think you are. It looks that way.
No, yeah, it looks that way, but it doesn't really,
Yeah.
it's really blocking it. Yeah. It just might cover about 2 inches of the border of the sign. That's about all. But it
So what I would do is I would try and center the sign. You really don't have that much leeway.
Yeah, we don't.
So I just sort of like center it, which is only about 2 inches rather than 1 inch,
Uh,
both sides. And, you know, just it'll, rather than having it jammed up against the brackets,
Gotcha.
give yourself a little more space and then keep it up high, you know, just for visibility.
Right.
I think we have another drawing. Didn't you? You made them a drawing, didn't you do it for them?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's probably what he's looking at.
yeah, that's what I was trying to grab.
Yeah, I know what he's saying. I know what he means. Because
My question would be, how are you thinking about lighting this sign at all? Is there any?
Not right now,
And
no.
is there a porch light under this little porch overhang?
No, I don't think, no, there's
Oh, wait,
not.
here,
Yeah,
there's-
there is to the left of it. There's,
Yeah, I see that fixture, yeah,
there's a lamp.
yeah.
I'm thinking there might be, Tim, because remember, if you went to the video store, it was at night too.
It was. yeah.
And I never remember it being real dark.
I'm wondering if there's a recessed light inside that porch overhang that would potentially light your sign up a little bit at least.
Yeah, I think the space is light, but yeah, I mean, consider that,
Yeah, I would make that suggestion that maybe you just consider, tying into something electrical there, maybe even down the road, and get that sign lit so at night it has not just a presence for you, but also a little bit of a charm in that corner, brighten that corner up, because your sign is so attractive, so.
Right.
Nighttime is always a good time for people to see things like that, so.
Yeah.
So, do we have any recommendations?
I recommend that we approve the application as presented, with maybe the recommendation that it be moved up slightly as Jerry's suggesting. What are you suggesting, Jerry? 6 inches or something like that?
Just about 4 inches below the fascia.
Yeah, I think that would look more correct. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, give me 1 second. Let me write that down so we get it right. I thought we had a drawing that we gave.
Dude, free more like garbage.
It's not there.
And this is, I think what we're doing is we're recommending, not necessarily, we're approving it as submitted, but recommending. Is that right, Tim?
Sorry?
Are we giving them the option, or are we saying they should, recommending to council that they should move it?
I think we're just making a recommendation. I think they can either go with that or not. I mean,
Okay.
that's the way I see it. So, I mean, it's
Agree.
not so bad the way it is, so.
Joe, Rita,
I'll
are you
second.
okay with that?
I'll second the recommendation.
Rita? Rita?
I concur. I also agree with that.
Okay, good.
Hi, Rita.
So, all those in favor?
Hey,
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Carried, okay.
When do you do to open it?
July 1st.
July 1st. Fantastic. Yeah, we should be in the green by then, right? Or close to it, at least.
Yeah, and they said that groomers were allowed to open on yellow, so we're allowed to be, we can rock as soon as we open the doors.
Oh, very
Great.
good. Yeah, so
Good luck.
Thank you, I'm so
I'll make
excited.
sure that I come up and see you. We have a dog.
We'll have, I'll work up the recommendations in the next day or two, and it should go to council, so they should have it at the next meeting.
Do I need to go to the council meeting, or?
No, because it's being approved. I mean, you can. Well, it's video anyway. It's Zoom council meeting, so you can go to that anyway, just to get entertained. But anyway, so.
But this is the main thing, like in order to hang it, I can tell Ruth to go ahead and do her thing.
No,
We
the
can't
council
say
has to
yes or
approve.
no, but
The council, we're just recommendations, and
Yeah.
the council will approve it, and then the zoning officer will give you the permit to hang the sign. It's all a process, but
Gotcha.
it should happen pretty quickly, so.
Okay, all right, thanks so much, appreciate it.
thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, have a good one. Should I sign off, are we good?
You're
Yeah.
good unless you just want to watch.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you, all right, bye-bye.
Okay, the next application is 2015, and that's 197 South Canal Street. Christopher
Yo, DeChico, yes.
Very
Hello.
good. So, tell us what's going on.
So we have a fence that I put up, or I did not put up. Our neighbors were having a fence put up, a new house that's beautiful, a few houses down from us, redone. I spoke to the contractors there, asked them if they could give me an estimate on doing the fence. I live next to the oil rig.
Right, JC Heating.
Yes, Joe owns it. And he gave me an estimate. He said I could be here in like 2 days. I talked to Joe on the phone, asked if he would mind if I blocked up some of that barbed wire with a pretty wooden fence to give us a little bit more privacy, especially from the truck lights that come in in the morning and the evenings that blare into our yard. And he was completely fine about it. The guy put it up, and then I realized I did things out of order, and I apologized. So the fence is currently up, and I do sincerely apologize. I'm not really aware. The guy just said he could be here, and I said yes, and I thought I talked to Joe, and I saw the other wooden fence, and I made a mistake, and I got the violation. So I would like to make the wrong things right.
Okay.
So I do apologize again.
In a way, you can barely see the fence from the right of way.
You
And
can't,
it's
yeah,
only things that are involved with the right of way. But we're not supposed to count trees and shrubs as being a barrier. So without the big tree in the front and the other shrubs in the front, you can barely see it. But anyway.
It
did
is
everybody
difficult
get
to,
look at it.
it is difficult to see from the street, and
Right.
especially if you were on the canal, but yes.
Right, yeah. Did everybody get to look at it? Joe, Tim?
I didn't get a chance to look by it, but I can tell pretty much from the diagram.
Okay.
Does the applicant have a current picture of the fence?
I have I mean, not of our specific fence, but I could show you the wooden fence. Would that suffice, or do you actually want to see it?
Well, do you have a picture of your fence that's up? Yeah.
No, I don't actually. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I don't know if you can see that at all. Oh, where are we?
Oh, okay.
There's too much glare. Oh, wait, there it is.
We'll back it
Oh,
up.
wow, there it is.
I think that's reversed, but you can see it's a high, like 6 foot high. It's a very nice, it's all wood fence.
Just
Yes,
back it up a little bit. Yeah. You got out of
And
focus.
so it's, anyway. And that picket fence is what really faces the street, that low picket fence.
I see.
Yes.
Right.
So it's, I think you did a great job and
Looks like an
Yeah.
improvement.
we should,
I would think it's an improvement, but I don't want to speak for.
I mean, you're facing JC Heating. That's, so, I mean, they keep it nice there. I mean,
They do. Joe tries.
Yeah, but very understandable. So is there any other questions or comments?
No, not for me. It seems like a good idea, and it's well done.
Any recommendations?
I recommend that
Has
we
zoning approved?
approve.
Okay, and so Rita, you approved, Joe second?
Yes.
You do second before.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. Has zoning approved it now?
It's going through the zoning. I'm in the.
Okay, so it's still pending.
It's still pending. Yes. I don't imagine there'll be any problems.
Okay.
That's a good point, Rita. Maybe, Jerry, maybe we make the recommendation subject to the zoning approval, and that the HARB is okay subject to that. Does that make sense?
It has a signature on the bottom of this. Very, very small. Michael Statlin? See the zoning officer? No, it's a stamp. All right, well, anyway, that's fine. So we can just do subject to zoning approval. Approve this as submitted.
No, if you think the same thing as someone else, you both got.
I don't think we really have to say subject to zoning, but we can.
I could go either way if
I mean,
if you don't think it's
zoning
relevant,
says
then
no, then it doesn't go.
that's true.
True. That's true.
But can we just say
Do we have-
approve this submitted?
I'm okay with that. I second.
Rita?
I agree.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a nice evening.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
You
Take
too.
care.
Okay, and this is an interesting one. 41 South Canal Street, 2016. You came to us before, and I just want to tell you, I don't know if anybody went by there, but I don't know what we accepted, but you're putting on pre-finished cedar wood siding. And it is fantastic, and it's what everybody should be doing. So I want to use your place as an example for the rest of the borough that it can be done. And it looks
Yeah,
nice.
we were a little unclear on what to do about that because we came to you guys to get the hardy board approved.
Right.
And you did suggest the cedar, and a lot has happened over the last few months, but we've done, a lot of research, and at the end of the day, I think we made the right choice with the cedar because hardy fails a lot, and that artisan hardy is extremely heavy, and it worried us that it would, cause problems down the road. And so,
I'm not in the historic district, but I'm going to replace my asbestos siding on my house, which is probably the most predominant siding in the borough. But other than that, and I'm going to go with I'm going to use white pine primed rather than cedar. But I mean, they're both really good. So,
yeah.
And I think once it's painted, and they should be painting the lap ends of it. Hopefully they are.
They are.
And once they paint the ends of it, if moisture can't get in, you don't have any problems and it won't peel. So the trick is just keeping the moisture out. And that's what you're doing.
And we might do a solid stain on it too. I don't know what you've looked into for finishing your pine, but just for the sake of, it might need to be stained more often than painted, but it won't chip and peel like the paint will.
My experience with that is to stain the cedar siding, and it's been reliable for me for probably 20 years. So,
Great.
yeah.
Good to know.
And I have to say, I have to back Jerry's point of view up. I rode by on my bicycle a few days ago, your property, and I had to stop and say, that's the best looking hardy plank siding I have ever seen. They must have a new product. I don't know. So I was not aware that you changed it up. I have to say that it looked like a fantastic job. My compliments, really, guys.
Well, Rob's been there the entire time supervising.
I don't know.
As
Okay.
he works on the inside. And we learned that we could restore the front door. So you guys did approve a new front door, but we don't even need a new front door. We're going to
Yeah,
keep.
you're on the right track. You're setting a great example. Yes, wonderful.
When it's done, we're going to ask you permission to take a picture and put it in the newsletter.
Yeah,
We
Great.
did that for another restoration that we thought was really well. So
yeah.
it's really exciting.
And I saw all that, the concrete or whatever it was in the walls that you were talking about before. Remember that?
Yeah.
When he took off the old siding, it was incredible what was inside that wall.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have a beautiful house there.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Excited.
So, yeah. What, and did you decide what you're gonna do about the porch and how you're gonna design that and how that's gonna work out?
Actually, we probably won't redo the porch. We're pretty happy with the way it looks without the porch. If anything, we're considering doing like a pediment overhang above the door possibly. But right now we kind of need to recover a little financially on some of the, that cedar is not cheap.
Yeah.
And the roof and all the inside work that we're doing. So we're
Okay.
going to wait and see. But actually, I mean, I was surprisingly pleased at just the way it looks. It really does look like, a home of that time period. When I look through all the old books, it really, even without the porch, I mean,
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
I can't imagine that porch was original, but I don't know.
What do you think, Jerry? Do you think the porch was original on that house?
It could, or it may have been a Victorian addition or something like that. But
It seemed like it was a different style than the rest of the house. Now, the back part of the house is a separate structure, and it was originally like 1700s. That's the oldest part of the house, the back part of the house, not the addition, but there's a kitchen inside. The front part is more like early 1800s, we think. I've been restoring, you know what, you guys would appreciate this more than any of my friends do. I am restoring all the rim locks on the inside doors. So I'm like, they're painted like, 10, 15 coats of paint.
Yeah.
So I boil off the paint, and then I have a wire wheel and I polish each thing, and then I have to open it up, and it's all rusty inside the whole, all the little working pieces. And so I shine up every little piece, and and then I oil everything, and then Rob and I like play like puzzle time trying to put everything back together. But the inside of one of the rim locks was dated 1866. So I don't know what that means.
Wow.
That was for the main, that's in the main part of the house. Rob was thinking that, you know, those would be more like, they probably didn't change the locks within the first 30 years of the house being there. So I don't really know the date of the bigger portion of the house, but the locks are dated 1866.
You know, the big spurts were the canal in 1832, and then when they put the railroad in 1876. So that's when the borough really sort of did big expansions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the sort of time periods that you start focusing on. And so those could have happened at any one of those times. So,
Right.
or even later, you know, turn of the century.
But the locks and the knobs, I mean, it's amazing what that wire wheel will do. It's like they're new.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, such quality. Yeah. And you know, you can also do some deed research in Doylestown and find out
We
more.
have a lot of the deeds,
Yeah,
handwritten copies. We were trying to look up some of the names that were on them.
it gives you the dates and whatnot too.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we applaud your enthusiasm.
thanks.
Fantastic. So
So
what are you asking for this evening? What are we
original
doing?
application, you had 6-inch K gutters and, you know, I guess square downspouts. And now
Yeah.
you're coming in with a half round.
Right. Did we originally propose that? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had it approved for the K gutter.
Oh, okay. So, right. So we would like to do the half round copper gutter and the 4-inch downspout. That's what we would like to do.
Wow,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Um,
It would be
fantastic.
great to be.
Sure, of course.
Did
We're like a
you,
model couple here.
did your, the copper guy, the gutter guy, say that it would work the way you have it configured?
You spoke.
Yeah,
to
he was
that.
actually out and did all the measurements and everything. And this is all this person does is gutters for the last 30 years, specifically copper gutters.
Oh,
So
I think it would do a good job.
yeah.
What I observed when I looked at it was that you have your roof overhang, your lip and all, is very close to your, about an 8-inch fascia. You know how big your fascia is?
We just went over
8
this.
inches.
8 inches?
Yes.
Okay. And so my concern as an architect is the roof shingles and all that and your drip edge don't stick over very far. So typically if you had a K gutter, they're flat on the back and they would sort of slip under your drip edge.
Mhm.
The drip edge sort of goes out and then it comes back and then drops down a little bit. And so your gutter would almost be real tight to that. With a half round, it's sort of sticking out from the roof a little because it has to have a bracket and all.
Mhm.
And so my concern is you could end up getting water behind it and you could have, you know, problems with the water coming down onto your fascia.
How
Aside
would
from
you
that,
resolve that normally? Just
huh?
how would you normally resolve that?
You use a K gutter.
I can't believe that your gutter guy wouldn't be all over that. If that
Well,
was,
that's what I asked them.
I mean, it's good. If it's an experienced gutter guy, he's not going to.
Yeah, the big thing that he said was you're lucky that, you know, the boards are flat. So anytime you have any kind of curvature or things like that, that's when you run into a lot of problems with the hangers for the half rounds.
Right, right. But, you know, do you understand what I'm saying? It's really close to the fascia, the roof edge.
Yeah, I thought the roofer left a pretty good amount of overhang, if you will, for the. I'd have to look at it again. I haven't looked at it in a while, but
Yeah.
you know, I certainly would have to look at the edge just to make sure that, you know, it's sound, because we certainly don't want water running down the fascia boards.
Yeah, well, I would pose that to your gutter guy.
Of course.
Say, hey, this crazy guy on HARB said, hey, you know, we might end up with water running down our fascia rather than going into the gutter. and have him look at it, because I'm sure you could also do a copper K gutter, because they just extrude them. But
Yeah, it's also a lot cheaper.
right, yeah. But I mean, it'd be our first application for our half-round copper gutter. I mean, it sounds so exciting. I saw that and I said, hey, there's nothing to look at here. It's a slam dunk. They've got it. I'm just sort of concerned. Typically, where you'd have your half rounds, you'd have like a crown molding sort of sticking out from that fascia.
Right.
The crown molding would go out a few inches, and then the half round would work well with that because it's sort of hanging out there by itself. Whereas K gutters like flat against the fascia, and so that's, I mean, you already have approval for the K gutter. So do we have any more thoughts on the copper half round? I mean,
No, I mean, I agree with Tim's point that somebody who installs this type of gutter, I think, is pretty well informed on how it works. It's obviously beautiful aesthetically, and they wouldn't have successfully installed it in multiple places without having some of these issues figured out. But I think it's a great question, Jerry, and I think if Stacy and her husband pose the question to their contractor, they'll give them assurances, or they'll consider the K gutters. I think that's a good idea.
So I think if we approve this, then they'd have two approvals. You've already been approved for the
Yeah,
K
there you go.
gutter, and if we approve the copper, and it's your concern about having water getting behind it and ruining your woodwork and all. So if we approve this, then you have that option, I think. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yep.
I think it makes a huge difference in the look of a building, historical building, to have this style of gutter versus a K gutter, which was developed much later than the period of the building really is. And I think that crown molding or not, and I know in some of my buildings, which I predominantly use half rounds, we've got the crown molding that Jerry so accurately described is typically on that part of the edge of the roof line, but I have some sections that don't have the crown molding, and I do not have that issue, and I have a nice aesthetic. So I really support the half round gutter. I think it makes a huge difference. I love it. And I know it's more money, but I think you'll stand back and look at the house and say, that was worth it. Damn.
I mean, and it's not like a fancy house. I think my initial concern that the copper would be like really shiny, but that patina changes so quickly to a duller color that
I think it's the flare.
some houses it really, and like I just think there's also a little copper that the roofer did around the chimney.
Yeah.
I just think it will add a little, and it's accurate.
It's a plainer house, and this gives it a real flair. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And it's a historical flair, I think.
Right.
So I like it. I certainly would encourage it. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
So do we have a recommendation?
I
Yeah,
recommend.
I'll recommend.
All right.
It's my turn.
Go ahead, Tim. By all
All
means.
right.
I recommend that we approve the application that describes the half round copper gutter as a preference over anything else that's been proposed. I don't have a recollection of the K gutter, but I think it's a great way to go.
The original house did have K gutters on it.
Yeah,
When we
It
took
may
it over,
have.
it did.
circa
wait.
1953. Yeah,
Wait, it probably had crown molding and the half round originally.
right. And they took that off and put
And
the
they took it off, and
Yeah.
what they do is the K gutter basically replicates the crown molding. That's what that curve is like, is the K gutter, the crown molding
Oh,
look.
I see.
That's
yeah.
what a K gutter is. It's just a substitute for the old crown molding.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's,
Well, we had our contractor, I don't know how close you got to the house, but like on the corners and stuff like that, we had him do like corner beads and certain just small details, nothing really fancy, but just to make it look the way when we replaced the wood, they really did replicate what was there originally. There was some crown molding on the front of the house, right? And we talked about whether or not to replicate that. It didn't seem like it made a whole lot of sense if it was going to be covered with a gutter.
well,
So
right now, your roof doesn't hang over enough to put the crown on. So you'd have to rework half of your roof to do that. And I'm definitely not recommending that. Everything looks so nice. So, but just ask your gutter guy, just say there's a concern. He could probably do some additional flashing or rework the half round gutter so that it has, you could have half round and then it could go vertically up like a regular K gutter in the back. He could make modifications to a half round to make that happen.
Yeah, if he thought that would be a problem, yeah.
Yeah, so just we can approve it as submitted and just raise that issue to him. And then it's up to you.
Sounds great.
All right?
Good.
So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're all set. Thank
All right.
you.
Great.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Have a good
And
night.
thanks an awful lot for the great work you're doing.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
Beautiful.
nice contribution to the town. Very
Great.
much so.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Is there anything else to we need to discuss?
No, I don't
No,
think
I
so.
don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know if Paul is ever going to put anything in for the newsletter anyway, so we'll remain to see. So
So does everybody think we're gonna have a live meeting next 2 weeks? You think that's possible?
it'll be green, right?
I think we'll be green. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks. I will not be here. No. So anyway. So
Oh, well.
hi, Rita. Nice to see you.
Good, how about you? I'm in the mountains right now,
Ah,
Oh yeah. Okay.
out of town.
I mean, you didn't drive down just to see the projects?
I would have loved to, Jerry. I'm going crazy up here. 12 acres of nothing but trees.
Where are you? The Poconos?
Yeah, I'm up in Whitehaven.
Okay.
Nice,
Very good.
nice area there. So
How's it going down there? Everything's under control?
yeah, I don't think we're having riots here tomorrow. So
Yeah, I hope Paul is just being a little nervous. I agree with you, Jerry, that the demonstration last week was wonderfully run by and everybody behaved terrifically, and it was a very moving experience, I thought. So hopefully that we just have a passionate young person who maybe Paul's a little nervous about, and is going to pull off the same kind of event, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. So it's when the wrong element gets drawn into these things that bad things happen.
Yeah.
I think
That's the thing, because I think they're
purpose.
defeating the purpose. You know,
Yeah,
they're
it is defeating the purpose, hands down. So
on another subject, Yardley Historic Association and the business group, and Tim, you know about this, are putting up old signs of what Yardley used to look like from the library. And we're putting them in Buttonwood Park for the farmer's market this Saturday.
nice.
And then we'll take them around and give them or put up signs in front of the building that it was taken at or wherever it is.
Great.
And so, I asked Commerce back. I didn't ask you. So hopefully they might just put it in their window or customer back.
Yeah, absolutely. I know there's a great photo of that as a general store. Yeah. So,
Right, yeah. And the Santander said, oh, we can't have any signs in the lawn or anything like that. So that was the old Quaker Meeting House. And
Yeah.
so I think what we'll do is we'll just knock on the door and say, you won't put it up, we can't put it up. So here's the sign. If you wanted to put it up, great. If you want to put it in your window, great.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Your signs.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah. So
Yeah, so look around town for those signs when you get back, Rita. When are you coming back? When it's green?
I'll be back probably next month, I think.
Okay. So you can go bike riding, can't you, on the trail?
is that the building inspector?
Rita, can you go on the bike on the trail if you're in Whitehaven
Yeah,
to Jim Thorpe?
I don't have a bike up here. No bike. No, it's further up than Jim Thorpe. It's probably 30 minutes north. It's near 95 exit on the extension.
Oh, okay. So very good. So, all right.
All right, everybody.
Oh,
Nice to
Yeah.
see. Nice to have a full agenda, isn't it? It was great.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very nicely done by all the homeowners. So that was good.
Yeah,
good.
and everybody shows up. That's cool. So,
mhm, yep, so,
all right,
okay.
guys. Well,
All right.
we're off to making dinner here. So.